A letter from Eustace Flint, blacksmith and chairman of the Azure Bay Metalworkers Union. Maggie, if you'd told me a month ago I'd be sitting on a ship, sick to my stomach, caught up in some expedition to God's nowhere with a bunch of bleeding adventurers, well, I'm sorry, darling, but I would have laughed. This ain't me. I know it ain't. Going off on adventures to uncharted places and unknown perils. I'm a blacksmith. I build ships. I shoe horses. I sharpen blades when the need comes. I don't go on adventures. Wish I could just be back home with you, with Rufus, sitting by the fire and reading a book or something. But the money was good, and the chapter house could sure use a new roof. So here I am. I miss you, Max. Well, I got words to say. Some don't fit right with me, though. I don't mean to scare you insane, but this whole thing feels a mite bit fishy to me. How is it that an island just appears out of nowhere? We know that folks fish these waters all the time. They can't just miss a whole dang island. It ain't natural. It feels suspect. Now, I'm a simple man. I work with my hands and I do my craft well, but I never pretended to be a genius. Still, I've been thinking, if something that nobody had ever seen in these parts, that hardly anybody had ever even heard of, if something like that just shows up with no warning and no way to ignore it, right where somebody was bound to stumble upon it at some point, it's not something that just happens by chance. If you ask me, nobody has, because I'm just a blacksmith and I understand that. But if you ask me why something like that could happen, I'd only have one answer for you. It's 'cause it wants to be found. Hello, and welcome to Roll Dice and Cry. We don't have a tagline yet, beyond what, like, we roll dice and then you will cry?
You're welcome.
We will also cry.
We will also
cry.
I will definitely cry.
I'm crying right now.
I'm never not crying.
Welcome to the show. My name is Zachary Frederickson. You can find me on Twitter at obfuscatinggod. Joining me today are Emily Riesbeck.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at the Blue Valkyrie.
There we go. Good job. Sloan.
Hi, I'm Sloan. You can find me on Twitter at FC.
Chander.
Hey, I go by Chander. You can find me on Twitter at ChanderClear.
Mari Costa.
Hi, I'm Mari. You can find me on Twitter at Marinskos, and you can read my webcomic. It's perrytale.com.
You can read my webcomic at bluevalkyriecomics.tumblr.com. I forgot that one. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We've all people like comics. Let's get our plugs in. And then rounding out the cast is going to be Nora.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Snorau.
Snorau.
No, that's not how it goes.
Twitter.com/Snorau.
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic.
If you do not type it out, it will not work. You cannot search it.
You cannot search it. You're not allowed. It's members only. Anyway, today we are beginning in earnest our campaign of Dungeon World, our first season. It's called On the Shoulders of Giants. It's a lovely oceanic voyage, probably. And let's just really quick round table with a little. We've already done a character introduction podcast episode and a little bit of character work already. But let's just real quick run through and get like names, class, race combos, and like maybe a little bit about your characters. Emily?
Sure. I'm going to be playing Zara Fontaine. She is a Laganel artificer from the Kingdom of Valentina. A Laganel is a bunny person, and she has curious eyes, fuzzy fur, and a pudgy body. She is an inventor, and her goal is to prove the value of her invention to others. And her specialty is working with magic, which in this world is a very dangerous and hard to control substance.
It's like if you mixed crude oil with plutonium, effectively.
And that's caused a lot of problems for Zara in her past, and she's looking to make sure everybody knows that her inventions are valuable and useful.
Nice.
And only a little bit dangerous.
Only a little bit. All right, Sloane?
I am playing Adeline Fleetwood. Adeline is an elf bard. Elves are the only race that can handle the physical magic. So her deal is that she doesn't want to just be associated with elf culture because they're very isolated, but she wants to discover as much as she can about the magic, and as well other cultures.
Nice. And she's got like her driving philosophy thing. We're doing that instead of alignments this season.
I still took cues from the alignments, like how they're written, and wrote down discover something about a magical mystery, because I like how that's phrased. But yeah. Considering that that's like kind of Adeline's thing in some ways, because she's curious about why elves are like that. Yes, yes.
That is her primary magical mystery.
What are elves? We just don't know.
What are elves? Chander.
We just don't know. I'm playing Ford Maphorn, whose real name is Amadeus Linnae. He is an orc and a peerless fighter that is a modification to the fighter playbook by poorimpulsecontrol.tumblr.com. He has hard eyes, shorn hair, scarred skin, and a built body. He used to be an astronomer, an academic, but then he decided that he doesn't want to do that anymore and wanted to punch stuff instead, so here he is. His alignment is ride or die, defend his allies.
Good. I love it. I love that it's ride or die. It's good shit. All right, Mari.
That's me, and I am playing Radiant Ire. He's a kobold and a paladin. He has fiery eyes, but like, I forgot to say this last time, it's not fiery like aggressive. It's fiery like a shonen protagonist.
Passionate.
Yeah, shonen protagonist.
Okay. Like determination.
Yeah.
Passionate.
He's bald, quote unquote. He does not have any hair. This is factual. He has scales. He's a kobold. He has a worn holy symbol, which we decided is his, the little fishing bob, whatever it's called, the thing.
Yeah, he's got a fish hook with a bobber on it.
Yes, correct. That is his
I think
holy
you're thinking
symbol.
of a lure.
Yes. Yeah, bob is the thing that it does.
Yes, so it's a fishing lure.
Yes.
Okay.
He has a fit body, and his alignment is endanger yourself following the precepts of your church or god.
All right. That sounds pretty wild.
In a way, also ride or die.
Hey.
Okay. So this is the kind of thing that the fishing lure. This is what a fishing lure looks like for those of us uninitiated into fishing culture.
Here it is. It's a picture.
Let's see.
Yes, correct. It probably looks like the symbol, whatever it is.
Okay.
When we come up with what the Cella symbol is. Also, Cella is
Yes.
God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a fun little fish.
Ooh.
I'm just linking fishing lures now.
All of these will be in the Twitter.
Oh, that's so cute.
We'll post all these fishing lures on the Twitter. You can vote for your favorite at www.rolldiceandcry.yourfavoritefishinglure.com.
It
We
is
do
very
need to put a
cute.
poll on the Twitter.
Yeah.
Fishing lure.
There is no fishinglure.com.
No.
Are you sure?
Yet.
Oh.
Well, not yet, there isn't.
Fishinglure.com?
I'm sure that exists. I'm so sure.
No.
This
It
is
does.
great radio, guys.
Sorry. Anyway, so that's Radiant, and then we've got Nora. Tell us about your character.
Yes, hello. I'm playing Tiuku Bell. She is Kochaki thief. Kochaki are like kitty people in this setting, and she's a fancy phantom thief. And she's short, soft, has curly hair and sharp eyes.
Nice.
And her drive is to make an ally of 7 powerful.
Alright, sick. So cool. And those driving things, they can alter them and we can edit them a little bit to like more directly reflect your character as we go forward. I'm sure nothing is set in stone. Because last session we played Night Watch in the Ruins of the Future, a Sundered game that we used to like kind of determine the first one of the first interactions between all of our characters, to sort of like in a low impact situation determine what they might think of each other. So if we want to just real quick run down all those bonds before we get into things. So Zara, how about you start?
Sure. I wrote some bonds for Zara based on the interactions we had in our sort of prep session, and here's what I came up with. Tiuku. Tiuku is interested in my inventions, so she will be my personal assistant.
Oh.
My thought for this, Tiuku, and you can confirm this, was that like you definitely expressed an interest in my inventions, maybe for nefarious purposes, like you wanted to use them to help you rob places and burgle.
Yes.
But it's not that Zara doesn't care about people getting robbed. It's that Zara is easily swayed by praise. So I thought like maybe Tiku, I thought you would be like, oh, I'll help you out with your little inventions, and then maybe like you can also get some for yourself in the process. How does that sound?
Very good.
Cool. So my second bond is for Adeline, which I'm very happy with, actually. Adeline's physiology makes her magically resistant. She would make an excellent test subject.
I love that very much.
So I figure that since Adeline can't be like mutated by magic radiation like everybody else can, it's okay to blast her with rays and shit.
She will hate that.
Cosmic
It's
rays.
She will hate
fantastic.
that, but that's okay because so you're definitely not like Adeline is definitely not like Adeline, sorry, is definitely not like a willing participant in this. Is that right?
Absolutely not.
Awesome. The last one is a bit of a stretch, but it's for Radiant, which
What's
was Radiant thought that my gadgets were useless. I'll show him.
Useless is a stretch.
Right, useless is a little bit of a stretch, but I feel like Radiant did sort of have like with the lights that Zara had. I feel like Radiant did sort of have like a why don't you just light a torch?
Yeah, he also his belief is like, why would you use regular magic when you can use God's magic? All the
Exactly.
time? Yeah.
So like I feel like there was a little bit of like dismissing out of hand. In a sense.
Yeah.
So I think Zara is eager to prove to Radiant that her inventions can be just as helpful as his divine.
To clear it up, he thinks the gadgets are cool, but he thinks they're cool in a way that he thinks toys are cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So he thinks they're a novelty more than like something that's useful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is in itself like sort of like you could typify that as useless or like. Yeah, those are good bonds.
Thank you.
Sloan, do you want to tell us about Adeline's
Yes,
bonds?
I have bonds for Tiuku, Radiant, and Zara. Tiuku, I sang stories of Tiuku long before I ever met them in person. because you mentioned that that she was like well known for her misadventures, and I think Adeline has definitely heard like tavern songs about it.
About the
and knows them all.
the Phantom Thief Belle.
Absolutely. I am writing a ballad about the adventures of Radiant because she's been to Low Tide, and he's their very special paladin boy, and that's very interesting to her. And for Zara, I really like starting with the like default bonds for Dungeon World, because I like starting with that and then expanding, but I stole one from the Rangers and edited a little bit for Zara, which is: Zara has no respect for the dangers of magic, so I have no respect for her.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ouch. Ouch.
That's perfect. 100%.
That's good.
Love it.
No, it's good. That's good. Hell yeah.
I think that I think that's really perfect. I feel like Zara definitely does have like a sort of disregard for the dangers in a sense that like the progress is worth it, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that those two, the bonds that we have with each other are pretty great next to each other.
Yeah. All right. Chandler, Ford.
Right, I have one for Tiuku, Zara, and Radiant.
Ooh, across the board.
Yeah. Tiuku owes me her life, whether she admits it or not.
Oh my god.
I think that during the little storytelling thing, when Ford went all Real Housewives of Barron on a dude at a party where Tiuku was trying to steal something, I think maybe that had a bigger impact on her ability to get out of there than maybe she will admit, or maybe more than she knows. So I think that's a good one there.
I like that.
Nice. Zara, her inventions could be useful to me. I want her to help me get a closer look at the stars.
Aww.
Because, you know, she has a bunch of cool gadgets. And maybe she knows about telescopes and things like that. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Radiant is wound too tight. I want to get him to let loose.
Oh boy. I love The Hangover. I don't know the plot of The Hangover, but I feel like it's this.
Yeah, maybe.
It is not the plot of The Hangover.
The plot of the Hangover would be: we took Radiant out, and now we've lost him, and we do not know where he is.
Oh, God. Ford, why are you cutting off the sleeves of your shirts? Anyway. Good. All right. Radiant, what are your bonds?
I have one with Ford, with Adeline, and with Tiuku. So Ford is a brave soul. I have much to learn from him.
Aww.
Ford looks real strong and buff, and Radiant appreciates that. It's like, yeah,
Nice.
he could
Ford's
defend all of us
Ford's
in a
like
fight.
Ford's like in his 30s, and Radiant's what, like 20 something?
Yeah.
Early 20s.
Yeah, I think he's like flat 20. He's like college age, early college.
In like kobold years, whatever those are.
I think it's normal because like the D&D stuff is like they die at like 19, and it's like, no thank you, nope, I don't, no thank you.
Yeah. These ones live like normal, like human
Yeah,
beings.
they live normal. They live regular, just regular
Okay,
ages.
I think it.
For my kobolds, my city now.
It's very good.
Yeah, he admires your strength and is a little bit squirrely about the whole drinking thing. But you know, it's a little bit. I respect the beliefs of Adeline, but hope she will someday see the true way, because she went to Low Tide and she didn't immediately just join the church, just like immediately. Just like, why did she not stay and just be a Tella follower forever? This is a mystery. This is a mystery to me.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
How could anyone not take one look at everything Zella's got going on and just be like, this forever?
Yeah.
Look at this chapel. That's a boat.
Please,
Exactly.
please come to Boat Church. Honest to God, if Boat was like on a church and it came to pick me up, I would go to church. Me as a person.
Yeah, fair.
And the last one is Tiyuku's misguided behavior endangers her very soul! Exclamation point.
Oh boy. Gotta protect those souls. You also gotta figure out why people care about, like, what the afterlife is. Do people go to heaven in this world?
We will find out when I inevitably die, like I do in every single kingdom that I've ever been in.
Oh, same hat.
Radiant is concerned about Tiyuku the same way, like, this is a bad analogy, but like a teacher is concerned about like a problem teen.
Aww.
So how old is Tiyuku?
I think like early 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So older than Radiant.
Yeah.
Radiant. It's like Radiant is a TA or he's the hall monitor.
Yeah.
In elementary school, and he's going to a high school student, and they're like, "Young lady."
I do think the little "ah" is like the perfect reaction for Tiyuku to have to that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, bless your little heart.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna
is
try
that
his best. That's all of them.
Cool. All right. Tiyuku.
I have one for Radiant, Ford, and Zara. I will protect Radiant from having to dirty his hands.
Aww.
Nice.
I will convince Zara about the importance of using her inventions for selfish gains.
Ooh. Good luck.
And I trust that Ford will be a useful distraction in the future.
Oh, for sure.
So...
Those are good. Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Okay, sick. And then the last thing, our last little bit of prep, are our love letters.
Excited.
Yeah. So who wants to go first? Because I remember Zara was a little nervous.
I just don't know if I'm doing a character voice or not, that's all.
I think you're okay not doing a character voice.
I'll go first.
Okay. All right. Zara, I am going to put this in your journal.
My journal.
Yeah, it should be right under your character sheet. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Zara, these other adventurers here, they've come for petty reasons. Gold, glory, bah. Religious vindication, pff. Not you, oh no. You are Zara Gabriella Fontaine, and you are led by the call of greater things, investors. Of course, getting investor capital was a bit tough back in Gorzon, where most folks knew you as the girl who blew up the family barn that summer. But thankfully, the human who came to recruit you for this expedition didn't know that. Sure, the organizer of this expedition is anonymous, but they're also obviously deep-pocketed. And so you decided to make your move and pitch your inventions to them by proxy through your recruiter. You've read that alcohol is the ultimate commercial smoothener, and so you brought your recruiter to the pub to liquor him up and talk him into a deal. Roll plus con. Okay, I've never done something like this before, so this is pretty damn interesting. What did I get? An 8. Excellent. Okay, let's see.
So read what the things are.
On a 10 plus, choose 2. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. The following: 1, you don't embarrass yourself. 2, you get an advantage on future negotiations, plus 1 forward. And 3, you lay the groundwork for a patronage contract. On a 6 or below, well, at least you can't remember it. I don't feel like, okay, so I'm definitely not taking you don't embarrass yourself because, like,
I figured.
Considering who I am, you get advantage on future negotiations.
So when you eventually meet the organizer of this expedition, you get a plus 1 forward on them.
So could you, yeah, okay. You lay the groundwork for a patronage contract. You know what? I think I'm going to pick you get an advantage on future negotiations because that sounds the most fun to me.
Yeah.
That leaves
for
my
sure.
options open.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, love letters are fun.
This is interesting.
All right, who wants to go next? Do we want to just go down the line?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So next would be Adeline.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, there it is.
Yours doesn't have a rule, unfortunately.
Ooh. I need to make this bigger.
Yeah, you can click on it, and it should be big enough to read.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Adeline. An elf's life is by nature semi-transient, and a bard is no different. You've met a lot of people, seen a lot of places over the years, but one person always sticks in your mind as particularly important. An old dwarven woman who taught you bardcraft as a child, who you knew only as Fletcher. It's been years since you've seen her, but recently in idle times your mind has been drifting to memories of her more and more often. The night you shipped out, this reminiscing seemed to have paid off. Fletcher appeared in your room in the inn, looking nearly unchanged from the last time you saw her, but perhaps a bit nervous. She revealed that she was a member of an organization of troubadours and spies, keeping watch and sending messages in dark times. With very little time to talk, she pressed a book into your hands and promised to see you soon, before vanishing into the night. Upon inspection, the book is in no language that you recognize, and the illustrations in it are difficult to make out, either by design or from age. It seems that you have little choice but to hang on to it until such time as Fletcher can explain its purpose to you.
All right.
Mum's here.
So that's we talked a little bit about important people in Adeline's past and backstory, and so there's a mystery for you.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. All right, next is Ford.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
I don't know where it is.
It should be under
found it.
your...
Okay.
All right.
Ford, it's been years since you left the observatory, venting your frustrations with the stuffy ivory tower of academia by turning to mercenary work. Most of the time, you can spend a whole week without thinking about it even once. Unfortunately, however, the past has a way of catching up with you. Apparently, you've become somewhat notorious up north. Notorious enough that a group of Barony's soldiers on leave thought it might boost their reputations to capture you and bring you to be tried for crimes against the families. Dealing with the attackers was easy enough, obviously, considering who you are. But leafing through their pockets for restitution afterwards, you discovered something interesting. Roll plus wisdom. On a 10+, choose 3. On a 7 to 9, choose 2. A silver signet key ring worth 100 coins. A key stamped with the logo of the Barony's National Bank. An unaddressed letter sealed in wax with the crest of one of the 5 families. A silver hip flask filled with a restorative liquor. 3 uses, 1 weight, restores 10 HP per use. On a 6 and under, choose 1. They got a lucky shot in, and your black eye meant you missed the rest. This is very fun.
All right. So yeah. So it's wisdom because that's your like noticing things.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey.
Oh, that's fun.
That's a 9.
That is a 9.
It's a 9.
So I want the hip flask for sure. And I think
everything else is like a lead somewhere.
Yeah, I figure. I think I want to be petty and take the letter.
Nice. All right, and we can figure out later what is in that letter.
Great.
But so you have that silver hip flask, and so it's like these shitty kids were like, oh, look, it's that dude from the cartoons, from the comic strip that someone made making fun of you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I love that.
Or something like that.
Oh my god.
Like you're in the newspapers.
The new Marmaduke.
Yeah. The new Marmaduke 4. All right. Radiant.
That's me.
Let me pop that in your journal.
Just want to say, I do love the image of Ford just walking around a room being like, what can I steal? And immediately being like, awesome booze.
Yeah. Well, you got it off the people that tried to capture you, and you beat the crap out of them.
Yeah. Where is it? Where's my shit?
It should be in your journal.
Where's journal?
It's right under your character sheet. The tab that looks like a newspaper.
Oh, I see.
On Roll20?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see it. Zooming. Ooh, I love to read. Radiant. It feels like just yesterday that the letter came into the Riverboat Chapel requesting a member of the Church of Sela for a mission of grave and holy import. As the sole living paladin of the church, it was decided that you would be sent as the church's envoy. Envoy? Sure.
Either way.
English is not my first language, everybody. It's not often that the word of Tela reaches beyond the marsh, and so the preacher told you to take the opportunity to evangelize. Of course, Lowtide's favorite son couldn't be sent off without the community pulling together to ensure he left with everything he needed. Your parents sent you around to talk to the neighbors and accept what boons they saw fit to bestow upon you. Roll plus cha. On a 10 plus, choose 3. On a 7 to 9, choose 2. A net bag for carrying important things. Plus 4 max load. A jar of tar resin in case you need something mended. A napkin satchel of dried meat treats, tied up with a ribbon for safekeeping. 0 weight, 6 uses. A nice warm quilt with everybody's names and the town motto stitched onto it. On a 6 or under, choose 1, but explain how you offended a townsperson on the way out. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the cutest. Here we go.
And that's a 7.
Hey, just barely.
So you get
just
2 of
made it.
those.
Let me look at it again.
So obviously the uses of the meat treats is for
Yeah,
rations.
I got you. I mean, I want the quilt for sure. I do want this quilt. It's adorable. What do I have right now? Just being pragmatic for once instead of just taking whatever looks cool. I have adventure.
You got some rations. You got adventure gear. You got scale armor.
I'll take the extra load.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's like a backpack stitched out of a fishing net.
So cute.
All right. Hell yeah. And
Yeah. It matches my cape, which is also made of fishing net.
Yeah. It's so good. All right. So the last one's gonna be Nora.
Yeah.
Zuku.
Oh, there it is. I gotta zoom in. Tigubel, it blows your mind that you're here, taking a dungeon crawling job like a common coppers. Just think less than a year ago, you were rubbing elbows with the upper crust of the Bernese nobility, dining in exquisite cuisine and lifting priceless artifacts from mansions for the highest bidder. Unfortunately, it seems all good things must come to an end, and your delicate spiderweb network of lies, bribes, and forgeries fell apart beneath the scrutiny of a particularly canny inspector. Baron, despite its chilly climate, had gotten too hot. You got out with your freedom intact, but roll plus int to see how well you covered your tracks. On a 10 plus, you got out clean, and have an intact safe house in the Baronese capital to slink back to when the heat dies down. On a 79, you slipped up. Either compromise your safe house or leave a trail. On 6 and below, well, let's just say it's a good thing that you're not in Baron right now.
Yeah.
And, well, it's not my strong suit. Let's see. Oh! I rolled a 9.
Okay, so you either left a trail that they can track you with, or you let your safe house get got.
I left a trail. That's the most interesting thing.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And we can talk off camera about this inspector and who they were and like how they sniffed you out.
They were hot. That's all I say. They were hot.
Oh my god.
Priorities.
So yeah, those are our love letters. Hopefully they're They were satisfactory.
I love it.
They're missing it.
So cute.
A lot of them were supposed to like not play to your strengths. I think the only one who's like did was Radiance, because that was the only thing I can think of about how to talk to people.
You can talk to people with strength.
Yeah, just as Ford.
How many boons can you carry? Roll strength.
All right, cool. So then, with that out of the way, we're finally ready to just get straight into it.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right. So, it's like an hour or so past dawn. There is a lot of fog on the water today. A lot of mist as your boat, the hand in hand, again crewed by some expeditionaries and captained by Daria D'ebonair, a captain of the Galarian Admiralty Board, approaches this island that is not supposed to be there. This is an area of the ocean that has been thoroughly mapped. People fish here all the time, and suddenly there's an island there. It was discovered like a month or two ago, and now they finally sent an expedition that you've been hired on to do this, to find out what's up with it. Also on the ship with you are a few folks. There's a scout named Jameson Pointslaway, who is a human. He was probably the one who was sent to talk to Zara. There is an elf scholar named Nemo Bartimaeus, or Bartimaeus Nemo. I can't remember which one was first.
Bartimaeus was. I wrote it down.
Okay, so Bartimaeus Nemo is his actual name, and he's a scholar. He's what I remember, I described him as like a rock star scholar. Where he's basically Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park.
Good.
But,
I feel like Zara definitely did a little fawning over this. Well, I mean, he's a hotshot scholar.
he calls himself a celestialist, which is basically a really fancy way of saying astronomer and astrologer. There's also a fellow named Eustace Flint, who is just now getting up on the upper deck after spending the entire voyage downstairs, hoping it would make him less sick.
Yeah.
And he's a big bugbear fellow, which effectively just means he's 7 feet tall and covered in fur, with like overalls and a hat, like a derby cap. And then I don't know if one of these each individually recruited all of you, but you probably have met them one time or another. Maybe it was Nemo who went to Low Tide or something. And then also there, sharpening his claws on the deck of the ship, is a fellow named Calico Black, who is another Koshaki with a katana, or it's like a nodachi strapped to his back, who is technically here to bodyguard Bartimaeus, but has spent as much time as he can not next to him this trip.
Pretty good job.
Yeah.
Pretty good job. These two.
I really want to say that, like, I, Emily, am very attracted to this guy, but Zara is probably a little intimidated.
By Calico?
Yeah.
Calico's definitely the one who got Ford, because he and Calico have worked together before.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're here. There's this bizarre mist-covered island coming up that you have just seen, and it almost like shimmers into view as the mist and fog sort of is the way I can describe it. What are you all doing this morning as you approach it?
So we've reacted to this island already, right?
Maybe. I don't know if I'm gonna cut that part out of the last episode or not.
Right. Well, we knew about it at least, so it's not like, whoa, what's that doing there? Okay, cool.
I mean, it can definitely be whoa in like this looks wild.
What's it?
Because
is there anything on there?
yes, you can see like further into the distance, like barely like towers, and you can see up front, the side that you're on has a huge chunk carved out of it,
Ooh.
making a like a square stone dock.
Like reclaimed land?
Maybe?
Sort of like, well, that's how like a lot of docks are made, like by
Is it-
reclaiming land. But
Is it
or
like
is it like
in-
carved? Is it like carved into the
It
side?
is carved into the
like an
Okay.
like an outcropping or
like somebody took a chunk of the coastline with a square eraser and just pulled it out.
oh fun. Cool.
Wow. Do we have the technology to do that on the mainland?
No.
Ooh.
boy.
Oh boy.
Well, in that case, Zara is like furiously like looking around and like adjusting her goggles with different lenses and writing down in a journal.
The captain of the ship, Daria D'ebonair, she's got a big like captain's jacket on over like a tank top, effectively, whatever like a fantasy orc equivalent of a tank top is. It's a weird.
Fantasies
It's a
have
real.
tank tops. It's fine.
Yeah, fantasy. It's a real like formal, casual juxtaposition. look
Yeah. Business cash.
To the right. She's also got like tattoos carved into her horns.
Ooh.
Nice.
Wow.
That's very
We haven't mentioned this
good.
episode,
That's a
but
large.
orcs have horns. Ford also has horns. And she's like standing at the prow. The prow is the front of the boat, right?
You're thinking of the bow.
She's the prow and the bow. She's standing at the prow. She's standing at the front of the boat, like peering through the fog, with her arms crossed. And maybe she's got her arms crossed and they're not in her sleeves because her sleeves are flapping behind her in the wind.
Ooh. That's a look.
So she's basically wearing this jacket like a cape.
I'm going to bump into her accidentally.
Oh,
While I'm like walking around, like pointing and like muttering to myself, like like I carry the 4 and 13, and I bump into her. So I do ruin her like very cool.
yeah, no, for sure.
Was this like accidentally quote unquote? Was it like actually?
No, it was legitimate. Accident.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's accidentally for Zara, but Emily just wants it to be fun slapstick, which
Yeah.
I appreciate.
It's good.
Yeah, so Zara, you're sidling up next to her and you like knock into her,
Yeah.
and she doesn't move.
Whoa.
Well, not like like she doesn't lose her footing. You bounce off of her and she like kind of looks down and she's like, "Are you all right?"
Oh, sorry, Captain. You're not hurt or anything, are you?
No. She like steps down from the bow where she was, and she reaches down and grabs Zara by the collar of her shirt,
Oh god.
not roughly,
Okay.
but like, and then like lifts her up with one hand and puts her back on her feet. No, I apologize. I was just I was absorbed in thought.
Oh, wait. Well, if you're looking at this, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, look at the way that it's carved out of the surrounding area. This couldn't have happened naturally. It must have used some kind of tool. I think we may have found the ruins of an ancient civilization. Perhaps one before the islands were even formed.
You talk a lot, don't you?
Well, I mostly try to write it down.
She like kneels down next to you, and like kind of looks like her head next to your head to like see through your eyes almost. And she's like, "But look how quiet it is." Captain D'ebonair, like, kind of taps her ear a little bit, and she says, "Do you hear that?"
No.
Exactly. It's dawn. Something should be crying or singing or anything. And what does it mean when there is a place that is uninhabited and there is no life in it?
Well, usually means I take a deep like gulp, something is dangerous.
Yes. And that's why I'm nervous. And then from behind you, you hear, Oh, please, Debonair.
This guy.
This
This
guy.
guy.
This guy.
Bartimaeus Nemo. The tall
Celebrity
elf.
chef Bartimaeus.
Counterpoint to the captain's point, there is an island that's just full of snakes, so debatably more dangerous than this island that we're about to go to.
Well, can you hear snakes from beyond? Maybe that's why there's no birds. This place is full of snakes.
Fair. Yeah, could be Snake Island.
Could be Snake Island.
So from behind you, and this is something that everybody on the deck can hear because he's a loud man. So anybody who wants to be around and interact and stuff, feel free to just tell us what you're up to. Tall, thin, lithe, with the fantasy 1800s equivalent of a leather jacket and bright blue hair. It is Bartimaeus Nemo. And he says, "You're gonna get the little kid in a pissy."
Little kid?
And he goes and he leans down and puts a hand on your shoulder. Kneels down, puts a hand on your shoulder. He's like, "Listen, nothing bad is gonna happen. This is the most important archaeological and anthropological find in the last 1,000 years, and you're here to help make history. What does it matter if there's snakes on an island?"
While he was saying that, the most important archaeological, Zara started to nod and has grown more enthusiastic in her nodding as he's continued talking.
Hell yeah.
Ford's over by Calico Black, and Ford looks at Calico's like, if he accidentally falls over the edge of the ship and you're not looking, you're still gonna get paid, right?
Calico finishes clawing, sharpening his nails against the railing of the ship, and looks at it and says, "Believe me, I thought about it. But no, we don't get paid."
How long have we been on the boat?
About a week and a half.
Oh my god.
Are all the handles on the edge of the boat just all covered in scratch marks?
Yes.
I know. It's a good boat.
And every time Daria gets mad. Anyway, what's Tuku up to?
I was just thinking, how far is the island from us? Is it a throw distance? Because I was thinking
It's rapidly approaching. We are coming into the dock.
Yeah. So as these people are talking about how dangerous it is, Tuku's gonna throw something there. Just
Okay.
See if the
probably
snake catches it.
something of Nemo's. I don't know.
Good.
Just see if there's snakes or anything, or if thing just explodes, or
Okay. Yeah. I don't think you'd have to roll for that yet because it's nothing happens to the thing that you throw. So let me to describe this sort of situation with this area.
Mhm.
I'm gonna draw a map
Oh, yeah.
just as I talk about it. It's like a perfectly square hole cut into the side of the island, and the island is there's a lot of cliffs and stuff. This is the only place that is actually not a cliff. And it is within that square thing is this second layer that is almost it's at water level, right? So it's at water level, and then it goes up just this sheer wall on three sides up to the normal floor level of these cliffs.
Is there any sign of maybe I assume this is all the stone face, the rock face of the cliff, right?
Yeah.
Are there any stone stairs or ladders?
I think once you get on the coast, like in there, you can try to check it out.
Sure.
And I think that's the main thing here is Daria doesn't want to go into that square.
Ooh.
She does not trust it. Because
That's fair.
it's a fucking weird, like somebody just hit delete on part of this stone.
Maybe it was always like that. Maybe it's just the rock formation is weird.
Maybe. I guess you're gonna have to go and find out.
Also, Radiant is downstairs helping Eustace with his seasickness.
Nice. Oh, he appreciates that.
Yeah. He keeps
he's
talking about his boat trips, though, so it probably doesn't help.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, boat trips. Oh, I love boats. Oh, boats are great. I build boats. That's like my job. I'm a shipwright mechanic.
Oh,
That's my
cool.
job.
Oh, that's great.
Boats are good.
Our boat church is great, and it's very soothing when it sways a whole bunch, and then you're really in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Anyway, how are you doing, buddy?
Greener.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm great.
Okay, that's good.
Here, what does your boat run on?
Faith.
Is it like steam?
Radiant legitimately tilts his head and is like, God magic?
Oh, okay. Good to know. God magic.
God magic.
On the boat.
I'm assuming that's what most things in my town run on. We're very fortunate.
Radiant sees a car and it's like,
Yeah.
That's our boy.
Gotta go to the gas station, get some more God gas.
That good Jesus juice.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so what's the plan? Because you're in a ship. There's a shore. You could conceivably, if you want to convince Daria to come into port, to come onto the dock, she can do that, and then you can just board, off board. But she doesn't want to do that because she's like, that's weird. That's some weird fucked up shit, and I don't like it.
I can swim there. Do you want me to swim there?
Are there like lifeboats or
Yeah, does she have a smaller boat?
Yeah. There's a couple of dinghies. Right, that's what it's called, or rowboats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A dinghy. I think a dinghy is a small boat.
Yeah,
I'm not like a boat expert
Yes.
though, so
I'm not a boatographer.
no.
I don't know shit like Eustace knows stuff.
I didn't go to boat school.
Really, Eustace, what's a very small boat called?
It's a dinghy. I don't build those. They don't make those out of metal. I mostly work on the warships.
Is this boat metal?
The hand in hand is like a combination.
Ooh, interesting.
Comboat.
There are larger like frigates in the Galerian Armada that are made of like metal.
Nice.
That's a thing, right? Boats made of metal.
Yeah. Most boats are nowadays.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Boats made of metal. I just googled that. Anyway. Yeah. Cool. Where was I? Before I was talking about boats.
We decided to get a dinghy, I
Rowboat?
think.
Rowboat?
There's a rowboat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and the waters are actually very placid and Eustace tells you that he would really like to be not on a boat anymore.
Come with us. Come with us, buddy.
Oh, well. Bartimaeus says, we are absolutely getting on that dinghy, and we are getting on this island. And Calico hangs his head, because he knows that means he has to get in the dinghy.
I'm gonna turn to what's the captain's name again?
Daria D'ebonair.
Oh, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna turn to Daria D'ebonair.
Yes.
I'm gonna turn to Daria D'ebonair. I'm gonna say, well, we need to land the boat somewhere, right?
I mean, I could just drop an anchor right here. It's you. We've only been out here for a week and a half. That's nothing. We can just kind of stay here, scope it out.
Well, it might be prudent to get some preliminary tests done. I turned to the rest of the party looking for approval.
What kind of tests?
Oh, well, I'm sure we can just examine the surrounding area for a day or two, and then when we decide it's safe, then we can all get the boat in there or get in the dinghy or what have you.
Adeline, who has just been sort of like sitting very quietly by herself, like looks over and says, and we're going to trust your judgment of what dangerous is, or?
Well,
Oh boy.
I
Start.
adjust my glasses and I say, well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I do have a background in scientific
Danger?
discovery. And
You got a background in weird islands?
well, not exactly, but the thing that every scientist must know is how to observe. For example, I've observed that it is very quiet here, and the captain has observed that that's a little odd, and I've observed that now I'm scared. So maybe it would be prudent if we took it a little slow.
Why don't we do this by votes? It feels like there's a divide here. Feels like there's a divide between who wants to do what. And I think we should just vote on it. And I was gonna say I should cast guidance, but I do not have that yet. Says Mari, the human person. I vote to go to the island.
Me too.
Me too.
Adeline wants to go to the island.
Yeah, I want to punch
because
stuff.
somebody has to.
More likely
keep
to
an
punch
eye
stuff on the island.
This is true.
Well, if there's nobody on the island, you're actually more likely to punch something while on the boat.
Look at Calico.
You're not gonna punch me.
I look at Jeff Goldblum. I mean, Christ. Bartimaeus.
Well, let's get going, huh? Claps his hands.
I look to Bartimaeus for guidance, like sort of like if he says it's okay. Well, sure. Let's all get in the dinghy then. I wouldn't want to miss out on the preliminary investigation.
Yeah, that's the spirit. And he like tousles your hair.
Please don't.
Can I be in a separate dinghy from Bartimaeus?
How many dinghies do we have? Just one?
There are two,
Ooh.
and you will probably need to take 2 trips. Yes.
How many does
because-
each dinghy fit?
I'm gonna say 5.
Okay.
Bartimaeus in one dinghy, and then everyone else just sort of stands in the other dinghy because we don't want to sit near him.
And then we sink from having a
And
2-full
then we
dinghy, but it's
sink.
okay because Bartimaeus is not there.
I can swim there. It's fine.
Yeah. You're a fish lizard.
I am a fish
basically.
lizard. That is correct.
Fizzard.
A fizzard.
Fizzard.
For short.
You beat me to it.
Yeah. All right. So you guys just get on this boat. We don't need to make any rolls for it. The water is very clear and cool and like calm.
Can we
Weirdly calm.
see like what's below, or is it not that clear?
No, clear. Clear, like you don't see anything poking up out of it.
All right. No
if
monsters.
you want, you can come look at, get in the water and like try to see what's up down there.
I do want to do that actually.
Cool. So that might be a discern realities, maybe.
Cool.
If you want to like check out.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So we haven't done much of it, but we're playing Dungeon World.
Hi everybody.
And so we've
Welcome.
got these moves. So people who don't know, Dungeon World is a game where you roll 2d6 plus your stats. On a 10 or higher, you succeed. On a 7 or 9, you succeed partially, and on a 6, there's failure. But failure doesn't mean that nothing happens. That's one thing I really want to push. That failure does not mean that nothing happens. It means that things happen, and a lot of times they're bad. So, when you closely study a situation or person, roll plus whiz. On a 10 plus, ask the GM 3 questions from the list below. On a 7 to 9, ask only 1. Take +1 forward when acting on the answers. And the questions you have to ask is, what happened here recently? What is about to happen? What should I be on the lookout for? What here is useful or valuable to me? Who is really in control here? And what here is not what it appears to be?
All right. Do you have? Can you paste those somewhere because I do not have the book with me, like the.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, what I would suggest is using the website.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look for it right now on the website, and it would have taken longer than someone pasting it in the chat. But yes, I have it now.
Oh,
I
I pasted it in my URL bar as opposed to in the chat.
Yeah, I have it now. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
So how are you doing this? Are you like sticking your head under the water, or?
Yeah, I think he really wants to swim. I think he likes swimming a lot.
All right.
So he's just like, all right, okay, guys, hold tight. Someone hold my spear.
I hold a spear.
I'm gonna go in there. I'll be right back. See you.
So you're wearing armor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that? Can you swim in that? Is that just a thing that you can do?
Is it not like scale armor? Or
Yeah, it's scale mail, but scale mail is like what, 2 weight?
I'm pretty strong. I feel like. I don't mind taking my armor off. I'll take it off. Yeah.
No, that's fine. It's fine either way. It's 3 weight actually.
Ooh.
Because it's scale, but it's made of metal. The scales are metal.
Oh, I just assumed the scales were scales.
Like fish scales?
Yeah,
No.
like sea creature scales.
They appear to look like that. Like they resemble that.
Okay.
But it is metal scales.
I've been thinking about every single armor that I've ever seen wrong. Like every single just armor description of any character, just wrong.
Well, there's dragon scale mail, which is actually scales, but like
yeah, that's
not.
I just assumed that was all of them. Honestly.
No problem.
Someone hold my armor. I'll take it off. I have no fear of the ocean. The ocean is my friend.
The ocean is your friend.
Alana, hold the armor.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sick. So yeah, roll your move.
Cool. Oh my god, that's a 5. Hey everybody, I rolled
Radiant.
a 5.
Turns out you needed that.
Oh,
armor.
Radiant.
Radiant dies.
No, so here's what happens. Radiant, you get in the water and you're like swimming around and you're like kobold paddling.
Sure.
And you get a little bit further away from the rest of the crew than you should have. And you're underwater and like you're not seeing anything. It's kind of murky. It's not murky, but it's just dark still because the fog.
Right.
And you look up from underneath the surface, and you think you see somebody on the cliff top.
Oh no! Oh no!
And you swim to the surface and you break the surface. You look up, and there's nothing there.
Cool.
Yeah. So if you potentially could have gotten any information out of this, you didn't. Which is not going to work out well for you later.
Yeah. I swim back. I swim back to my crew, and I say, "Have you guys ever heard of Schrodinger's cat?"
Of what now?
What?
There may or may not be a person on this island.
Well, what do you mean?
So I was in the water, and I looked up and I saw a person, and then I got out of the water, like on the surface, and there wasn't a person anymore. And it's freaky.
So did you just imagine it?
No, because I saw it with my eyes.
Oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to test out one of my inventions. I point at my goggles and I say, you see, these are, well, I hate to toot my own horn, but these are clockwork amplification goggles, and I can use them and I put them down and flip a few little notches on the sides, and I'm just point out where you saw this person, and I'll give us a closer look.
Are you trying to say that you invented binoculars?
Well, they have a magnifying function, yes, but they have many functions. Like for example, and I press another button on it, and a little light goes on, like a little headlight. Ta-da!
So binoculars with a headlight.
So fascinating.
I put the light off. And I'm just tell me where you saw them.
No, don't. It's not. I'm not trying to dig on you. It's just it's cute. He points at the thing.
Okay, I'm gonna look in the direction that
Yeah. I mean, you see trees.
Okay. I flip a couple switches and I assume I don't see anything different.
No.
Cool. I take my goggles off and I say, "Well, there's nothing to worry about. It looks like you just imagined it."
I didn't though, but okay.
Guy could have moved.
Yeah, people move. People know how to move places.
Do they?
Yes.
Have you ever really left your home?
Yes.
We are all on a boat very far away from our homes.
We would have to have left our home to get here.
Also, we kind of glossed by it, but are you saying that Erwin Schrödinger exists and has done his work in this universe?
Yeah, I guess.
And he's a kobold.
He's a kobold.
Yeah, Schrödinger's cat is the cat that my neighbor Schrödinger has, and it keeps dying and coming back, and it's super weird.
When you put it in a box, you never know if it's dead or not. And that...
Yeah, I do. I opened the box and he's alive. What are you talking about?
It's actually Schrödinger's axolotl.
That's what solves the problem, making it an axolotl instead of a cat.
Anyways, you arrive on the docks. It is like a I was gonna say rough hewn, but it's a knot. You like step out onto this like dock, which is basically just like huge stone slabs, but they're just solid, continuous pieces of stone. And they are at perfect 90-degree angles, carved into this mountain. And yeah, touching it now, it is like it was at one time polished to a mirror finish, and it now has just stopped being polished, but it's still smooth.
Is there a way to discreetly taste this, like they do in Scooby-Doo?
Oh my god.
Like touch them, they're like,
What do you mean, like
What?
they did in Scooby-Doo?
What?
Well, they did that, right? Or you like,
In like
I don't know what the hell you like. Taste the ground?
yeah.
I feel
For
like
what purpose?
in Scooby-Doo the movie, or like a specific
I
show?
might be misremembering, but you know the thing that like detectives do where they taste things?
I
Oh,
think
were they wipe their finger and then lick it?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's. Go for it.
Please
do
do.
it.
I mean,
Do it.
yeah, you can lick this ground if you
I
want.
want to touch. No, lick my hand. I don't want to lick the ground. That looks weird from this
Chander, have you made another character
No.
who eats dirt?
I just want to, I want to
The
like
legacy
that's what you do in geology. You lick rocks sometimes to tell like what's
Do
it
you
made of.
really?
And yeah,
Yeah, no, that does sound accurate.
yeah, to see what it's made of.
I don't know enough about rocks to disprove it.
It's true, it's true.
Okay. Yeah, you can check this out. What is this rule?
Discern realities.
Is it discerning? You're discerning the realities
Maybe
of the rock?
maybe the int one.
Spout lore?
Yeah, maybe spout lore. Since it's about a specific thing, I don't know.
Yeah. You're gonna spout some rock lore by tasting the rock.
Okay, that's an
God, I hope
8.
this goes super well.
That's an 8. That's
That's
a very
An
good
8?
one.
Okay. So on a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation. On a 7 and 9, the GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful. The GM might ask you, "How do you know this?" Tell them the truth now. And this is when you consult your accumulated knowledge about something. So, describe to me what Ford is doing.
So he's kind of coming up to one of the. I think he kneels down, kind of touches the rock, like licks his hand. Generally, is like checking it out to see what's up with this very odd mirror finish stone.
Yeah. Well, it's not
it
mirror
was
finish
once mirror
anymore.
finish.
It was once mirror finish, yeah. Very slick and shiny. Yeah, I mean, so the thing that I'll get you is that this is the same kind of rock that all of the islands are made out of. There's nothing different about it by composition, just by the way it was worked. Yeah.
Well, the rock's normal.
Calico looks at you, he's like, "Did you just lick the rock?"
No.
Well, actually, in geology, it's common to lick rocks in order to discern their properties.
Bartimaeus like laughs and nods and says, "Yes, that's what we call geologists, rock losers."
I'm gonna throw him off the side of the boat.
I sort of like whisper to everybody, "Oh, we don't call them rock losers."
I mean,
Two
all
high
scientists
fives.
are rock losers.
Yes, thank God you didn't leave Bartimaeus hanging with that high five and the sick burn of rock losers.
I have something I'd like to do. So, Bardic lore, when I encounter a new anything, if it's covered by my area of expertise, I can ask a question. And my area of expertise is spells and magics, and I'm not going to presume that this is spells and magics, but can I ask, can magic do this?
Yeah. When you first encounter an important creature, location, or item, yeah, I think this is an important location, you can ask the GM any one question about it. The GM will... So your question is, can magic be used to do this?
Yes.
And I think the answer to that is yeah. I mean, one, magic can do a lot of stuff. But two, magic could definitely power something with the cutting power to make this.
Do you want me to name the song that I know about this?
Yeah. Sing me the song of the rock thing.
I will never sing. I can't sing. Adeline can very well. But I want to be a little extra and say that the song is called The Giant's Mirror.
Oh. I'm into that.
Yes.
And does it talk? What's the context of it? Is it like there was like, check it out, we're giants. We can't have access to enough steel or mercury to make real mirrors. So we're gonna use our special magic.
I think it's
polishing tools.
I think it's kind of like a real old like fairy tale sort of story about a vain giant who wanted a mirror and had to make it out of stone.
Ooh.
I'm super into that.
I love that.
Hell yeah. I love that.
And then he got turned
All right.
into a mirror and or a flower.
And he got turned into a mirror and melted, and that's why we have the ocean. That's why the ocean is reflective. I'm doing my best.
He looked in the mirror for so long that he turned into
Winter came and he froze, and and then he melted. Now we have the ocean. Perfect.
Turns out fairy tales is just Mad Libs.
He turned into a mirror and then was cursed to only reflect others and never himself.
Good
That's
radio.
good. That's good, actually.
And that's why giants don't have faces in Dark Souls.
We fixed Dark
Let's
Souls.
cry our Dark Souls podcast fancast rewrite.
Yeah.
We're gonna get right what they got wrong in that
It's
Dark
This is
called
our
Light
this is our
Souls.
Dark Souls fix.
Ooh,
What
yeah,
this-
fix it fact.
what this looks like-
Actually, that would be dope. But anyway,
What this looks like also is probably Adeline starts like she I don't know if I mentioned it, but she has a mandolin, starts playing the song, but she doesn't sing it. She's like thinking about the lyrics in her head. She's not going to perform through one so much.
is it like a very well-known nursery rhyme?
Giant songs, lyrics, like kind of like just to herself.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be well known, but
It's up to you.
that's a fun fairy tale. I would like it to be well known, but
Because I think if it's well known, like after a couple bars, Zara I just kind of like passively hum along, not really realizing it.
So yeah, same with Ford.
Radiant
loves a
sings it.
song about a giant. Oh, okay. We're this great dungeon world party, and now we're just gonna have a little choir session while we look at a rock.
Who knows how to harmonize?
Well, it's dope. It's like the fucking song from The Hobbit. Except like,
Oh, good.
yeah, it's like the dwarves scene in The Hobbit, except a little.
Do love them Hobbit songs.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
just like
exactly.
a shot of the island with all of us singing in the background as it pans up over the island, and something ominous is there.
Yeah. Tiku
Oh,
plays
yeah.
little bells. to
Which of
sing.
the NPCs are singing? This is important.
I think Eustace is humming. Also, Jameson is with you. Jameson points the way, your scout.
Nice.
Who was like,
Convenient.
he was very slowly inching his way across, like along the wall. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but he's like hugging the wall and sliding along it. And if you asked him, he would be like, "I'm being tactical."
The Miss Land.
Ford just like walks past him, like looking at him weird, like.
Yeah. So you're now in this place. There is currently, it looks like every surface of this dock is smooth.
Okay, now's the question. Do I see a ladder or some stairs or like a chamber that I can go in?
Yeah, that was answering that question belatedly was what I meant when I said it's all smooth.
I see. So there's none of that sort.
To first inspection, there is nothing here.
What about underwater? Like, if you dove underwater here?
That's a thought.
Be like, well, it's all smooth. I don't see a ladder or anything.
Radiant, would you be a deer and go for another swim? I think.
Yes, but not
If there's
because
an
you,
entrance.
Yes, but not because you told me to. Because it's good for the team.
Of course.
I'm
Course.
I'm gonna dive again, I guess.
Okay. Did you? Oh, you failed
I
that
did.
roll. That's why I didn't answer any
Yep.
questions. That's unfortunate. Oh, maybe one of your friends can help you. One of your party members can give you something or give you some like
Hey,
assistance.
hey, Zara, could I
Yeah.
do those binoculars work underwater?
Oh, of course they do. Unfortunately, I don't have the move. That's an advanced move that lets me give my
shit.
other things. Yeah, I don't know how this works mechanically, but the
How about we can just use it right now instead of having it, because that gives you like multiple advanced benefits, right?
I could read it for you really quick. It's
Yeah.
too dangerous to go alone. When you aid an ally, you can spend one charge and give them one of your gadgets to automatically succeed on an aid roll. Explain how your gadget helps them out.
Okay, so in this case, instead of just automatically succeeding, you can just give it to him, and for the fiction to be like, that's that's your aid roll. You just got to roll the aid.
Okay, that's fine with me. I pull off my my goggles and I hand them to Radiant and I say, now do be very careful because they're very fidgety and I'm not exactly sure they're 100% waterproof, but they should be. All of my inventions have been tweaked a little bit considering we're on a boat and surrounded by water a lot. So well, anyway, here you go.
Cool, thanks. Radiant slaps them on. Just like just a little slap that you do with swimming goggles.
Sarah was going through all of those. Sarah was going through all of those like conditions, and Ella was just like visibly more and more tense.
Magic can't hurt me. I have got magic. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, so Zara, you can roll to aid him,
Sure.
and I think maybe that's you just telling him how to use the goggle lenses.
Yeah. So roll. Let me see if I can do that here. Is there a way to just like roll?
Let's see. In your character sheet.
Character sheet, yeah. Because it's plus bond, and so I
Plus bond.
have
So
a
you have
bond with Radiance,
one
so I'm
bond.
plus one, right?
Yeah, so you could just type it in chat /R
yeah, sure,
1d 2d6 plus 1.
2d6 plus one, yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Wow!
That is a 12, so
That's a
I'm going to be
12.
actually succeeding a roll here.
Oh yeah.
Against all odds, wasting my
Yeah.
good rolls.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
so
do you want to read the text for aid or interfere?
sure. When you help or hinder somebody you have a bond with, roll plus bond with them. On a 10 plus, they take either plus 1 or minus 2, your choice. On a 7 to 9, you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. Obviously, I'm going to be choosing the plus 1.
Yeah, thank you.
You're aiding instead of interfering.
Correct.
All right, so radiant, you can use those goggles. You get a +1 on your next.
Yeah.
On this
I'm
roll.
just gonna do it manually then, since this is a +2 now. Hey.
Hey!
There it is.
Good
There it
rolls
is.
for everybody.
It's a 10.
That's
It's a 10.
10.
It
So
is
the
a
9,
10, yes.
I did bring enough from a 9 to a 10. Hooray!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks. So when you closely study a situation or person and you roll +1, on a 10 plus you have to GM 3 questions. Do it, my friend.
Yes. Oh boy, so much pressure. What should I be on the lookout for?
Okay, so you dive into this water, and you're like, first thing you notice is that there is what at one point was a boat
Ooh.
in the floor of this dock. Okay, so here's one thing. You realize that this square that was carved out of this island keeps going down. And it goes down 100 feet.
Ooh.
It's probably deeper than you can. Maybe it goes down 50 feet
Mm.
or something. Fuck.
I don't
that's
think I can
deep.
swim that far anyway. 'Cause,
No.
like,
You see a boat.
mhm.
And on that boat, there's a, the prow of the boat, there's the bit that sticks out the end.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's another one of those at the bottom, and it has a hook on it.
Are you talking like a masthead or?
There's, the boat.
Is it like when there's a lady
Words.
in front of the boat?
Yeah, and there's a thing that sticks out beyond her.
That is a
Okay.
masthead.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the masthead. There's a second one on the bottom of this boat.
Oh, I see.
And it has a hook on the end.
Can I reach
Oh,
it?
cool.
I think if you want to try to reach it, you would be swimming down really low, and that would probably be a defy danger.
I'll define that danger. I'll do it.
Okay. I think that would be. How are you doing? Do you think you're doing it where you're swimming really, really fast, as hard as you can to get there, or do you think it's more of and that would be strength, or con, where you are it's just holding breath and dealing with the pressure?
I think it might be con. That feels more accurate. Because
Okay.
Swimming really fast feels like something someone who doesn't swim a lot would do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And so you've also got, and also remember you have
Yeah.
2 other questions you got to ask.
Yes. Maybe I'll do those now in case something super bad happens.
Okay.
Next one. What here is useful or valuable to me?
Well, that boat.
Yes. Uh-huh. Thank you. Oh boy. The what here is not what it appears to be is always very, very tempting.
Well, I got that for you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you end up getting sort of feeling your way around the side, sort of the far entrance of this square boatyard area. And your hand slips down into the wall,
Ooh.
and a little panel slides open, and there's some sort of latch on the inside of it.
Can I do anything with it? Can I pull it, push it, something?
You can try. Knowing that the hook is down there, you know that the hook fits it.
Ooh, I'm gonna go get that hook.
All right, so let's try that. Let's try that defy danger. Danger being drowned.
Oh my
Oh.
god, that's a 5.
That's not good.
Hey.
Zara,
Okay.
sorry I broke your shit.
That might be it. That might be the thing. Zara, you have a move that means you can repair your gadgets, right?
Replace is the word you're looking for.
Okay. Well, just replace it with the same one. I'm really sorry about this. But yeah, so Zara, you've pressure tested it for air pressures. But once Radiant gets to a far enough down, they crack.
If you want to give like a Radiant specific penalty, that's fine too. Because like I don't like if
I've got another one.
yeah.
A second one. There are
Sure.
two things that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with this for what it's worth.
Alright.
Like, it's optional.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't want
So,
to like
yeah.
punish the other character
No,
who
no,
did
no,
not
no.
fuck up. Okay.
Yeah. One fuck up is all's fuck up.
Me fuck up is
So
Sue
Radiant-
fuck up.
Yeah. So Radiant, you flutter your way down there in the water, and you start tugging on this thing, and it cracks, and you have it now. But
What was I shouting?
something else. That was someone sneezing.
Oh, okay.
But you have this secondary. It's basically a key. So like, the thing is, when the old boats that used to come here docked, they would dock and they would unlock the entrance
Right.
with
Yeah.
this hook.
That's dope, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
it's
Yeah.
really cool.
I like that.
Thing is, there's something else in this boat, and you hear it start to slam against the side of the ship. You've woken it up. What are you gonna do?
Swim up very fast.
Okay.
Can I swim up and pass by the thing and unlock it?
Yeah, I'll just let you do that because otherwise you're gonna get eaten.
Okay.
All right. So everybody else up top, you see the water start to shake, and then also you hear this low rumbling as. So, like I said, this thing is polished to a mirror sheen, or was. It is perfectly smooth, but it's perfectly so smooth that the seams you can't even see as the stair steps start to come out from the wall.
Ooh.
Building a staircase that goes all the way up to the top. And then you see Radiant poking his head up out the water.
Hey, Ford.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Ford.
Yeah.
Good news about the punching.
Perfect.
Oh no.
I'm gonna swim to the shore now.
I square up.
God. Oh yeah, that's right. Ford is our fighter, the peerless fighter, which means he has a special fighting style. What is your fighting style?
Star puncher.
Oh boy.
Right. Okay, so you see something very large and sort of sinuous, darkening the water, like this large dark shape that is very rapidly approaching the surface,
Get ready to go.
and it's coming straight at Radiant.
Oh no. Dooku is gonna try to pull Radiant up out of the water. Just like pluck him up.
Nice. All right, so you just scoop up this little boy.
Kind of shake him off a
Doesn't
little
have
bit
armor on right now.
to get the water.
No armor, no weapons.
Unfortunate.
Just me and the ocean.
Yeah, she's gonna shake him dry and then put him back in the boat.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are on you're on the dock,
Okay, yeah.
Dog.
and I think actually at this, like, Nemo starts taking the stairs up two at a time, and he's like, "I don't know if you want to fight fish, but like, we got places to be."
I want to fight fish.
I hustle towards the stairs, looking very panicked.
I sighed, I pick up Radiant, and I walk towards the stairs.
Nice. All right. This thing launches its way out of the water at you. It's kind of like a barracuda,
Ooh.
Ooh.
but like 6 feet long.
Huh.
That might actually be how long a barracuda is.
One fear.
How big is a barracuda?
They're small, aren't they?
I feel like they're going to be the kind of thing that's bigger than you think.
Is 6 feet a lot? Because 6 feet is how tall I am, more or less. I'm a little bit shorter than that.
Yeah, I'm 6 feet tall as well.
I'm
Imagine
5'2",
it's
so
Mark,
that's
Mark,
very
you're
tall
6
to
feet
me.
tall?
No, I'm 5'9", but it's like roughly.
You're tall.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm very tall.
yeah.
I'm like 5'10" as well, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
How big is a barracuda? I mean, 6 feet something.
Says some
yeah.
species grow quite large, up to 165 centimeters in length, which is about 5'4", apparently.
We could make it an even 7 feet to make it extra special.
It's very big. It's 2 meters long,
Oy.
and it has weird hands.
Oh no.
Oh
I hate it.
no! Fish hands.
Yeah.
Put it back in
Put
the
it back.
water.
This whole time, Adeline's been wearing a shirt that says "No fear," and now it says "One fear."
And so yeah, so this it's like, Ford, you're kind of hustling to the stairs, and it slams into the wall from where you just were, and it's just scrambling on these webbed paws.
Oh god, it's like that one Junji Ito book. God, what was it called?
Oh, the shark with the legs.
Yeah.
Ay.
The shark with legs.
I hate
Leg
it.
shark.
I love it.
Yeah,
Cute.
it's coming after you, but it's not used to walking on water.
On water.
On land, rather.
Does it have legs too, or is it just the hands?
I think it's got these stubby
Ew.
legs.
Oh my
with
God.
with these webbed paws around
This is
the
worse
inside.
and worse.
Oh, it's like a little fish dog.
Guillermo del Toro's new movie is looking great.
The Shape of Water. It's an excellent movie, by the way. I recommend it to everybody. Everybody should go out and see it.
So, what's the, is it coming after anyone specifically, or is it just going?
It's coming after all of y'all, but you're in the back.
Okay. Can I throw radiant?
Yes.
Not at it.
100%.
Not at it. Just like
Oh.
no, we're not doing get help. We're just I just want to throw radiant away from the creature up the stairs.
Yeah, there are folks running up the stairs, so you can definitely kind of try to toss them up there.
Yeah,
I can fight. I'm the second tank.
but Ford doesn't know that.
All right, so you just chuck radiant at somebody.
Probably to you, Goop.
Somebody has to.
Okay.
All right, Tuki catches radiant, and then Ford, what do you do as this thing is barreling down at you?
Can I defend my friends? Can I use the defend move, or do I have to attack it?
You can definitely use the defend move.
Cool.
So when you stand in defense of a person, item, or location under attack, roll plus calm. On the 10 plus, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. As long as you stand in defense, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend hold 1 for 1 to choose an option. Those options are redirect an attack from the thing you defend to yourself, halve the attack's effective damage, open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally plus 1 forward against the attacker, or deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
And
So
my
what?
style is defensive, so I hold +1 when I defend, even on a miss.
Nice. Okay, yeah, so you can definitely roll that, and then if you want to also attack it, you can still do that.
Oi!
That's an 11.
So you hold 4 as it barrels down on you.
Perfect.
And are you just blocking, or are you or are you gonna punch it?
I'm gonna punch it.
Cool. So you're standing in defense. And standing in defense, I personally see it as a sort of bonus action move, for lack of a better term.
Okay, yeah.
You can stand in defense and then attack.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely attack. I hack and slash.
When you attack an enemy in melee, you roll plus strength. On a 10 plus, you deal your damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. At your option, you may choose to do 1d10 plus 1d6 damage, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack. On a 7 to 9, you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you.
That's a 7.
The 7. Alright, cool. So it's attacking you. And so you can still use your defend hold for this. So, how does Ford... Let's talk through this like a word, the scene of everybody is going up the stairs. Ford is standing at the foot of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Duke's up. Fish monster barreling at you. What is it? Is it just a hot cross? Is it a jab? Are you doing an uppercut?
It's an uppercut. A duck forward and a uppercut to the jaw.
Okay, so I think maybe it swings at you with one of these weird clawed, finned hands, and that's how you're gonna get the damage dealt to you. But you're gonna hit it hard. Do you want to use any of those defend holes to reduce its effects or anything?
Yeah. What have the attack's effect or damage?
All right, cool. So you're gonna do your damage, and then you'll roll his damage. Well, its damage.
Damage is a D10.
Yes, for you, the fighter, it is a D10.
It's a 4.
4 is pretty solid. Did you get any bonuses from your fighting style?
2 of it's piercing.
Nice. Which is useful. Move trigger, I punch. Love it. Just reading Ford's character sheet. Yeah, so you just bam, hit it. It's gonna do a D8 to you. But then you're gonna have that.
Mm-hmm. It's a 2. I mean, it's a 4, so it's a 2.
Yeah, 4, so it's a 2. You have 2 armor.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't take any damage as this thing, like,
Nice.
its paw, its weird clawed fin, skitters over your armor and you just bashed in the face. I think if you want to use another hold from that, you can just knock it off into the water again.
Yeah, I do.
Hell yeah. So you want to describe that?
I think what happens is that it's an uppercut, and it stumbles back, and then Ford goes forward again and punches it in either, neck, chest, stomach, whatever is exposed at a vital point. And he punches so good and so hard that it rockets back into the water.
Nice.
And then I bolt up the stairs.
Alright, sick. So you get up the stairs, which effectively just means that going back downstairs is going to be a problem in the future.
That's fine.
Yeah, but good job, everybody survived the fish monster.
We did it.
Yay. And now you're up on top. And this is a huge, misty island. Like, still, even though as the sun is starting to climb higher, it's like the fog is stubbornly refusing to burn away. Which is spooky, I imagine.
Ford grins. I like this island.